South Africa's electricity system is changing, and this change is causing uncertainty, particularly for the poor. In this video, we will explore how to make sure the poor are not left behind during this transition. Our constitution says electricity must be affordable for all. This is because it plays a critical role in health, education, and economic opportunities. Yet the price of electricity has increased a lot, and people are struggling to pay for it. In some cases, households have to choose between buying electricity or food. In an effort to support the poor, South Africa provides two types of aid: subsidies and cross-subsidies. Subsidies involve the provision of free basic electricity units through a national grant. Cross-subsidies involves using income from high-consuming customers to top up below-cost charges for poor households. When electricity is not affordable, people may turn to illegal connections where they can get cheaper power. These connections are dangerous, and the first victims are often our children as they play in the streets. When we support illegal vendors, the money does not make its way back to maintaining a national electricity system. This can cause supply failures and, in time, destroy our valuable electricity system. So, how does a household access electricity subsidies and cross-subsidies? Municipalities and Eskom deliver subsidized electricity to poor customers through a special tariff called a home light or lifeline tariff. It is more affordable than a normal tariff because it includes cross-subsidies. Eskom and municipalities identify who is poor based on electricity connection size, property value, household income, and the amount of electricity used, or any combination of these. In addition to this, a customer can access some subsidized free basic electricity if they apply to be on a municipality's indigent register. But some problems remain. Funding the subsidy system and identifying the poor households. This will be made even more complicated by the changes happening in our electricity system. While these changes look to build the cheapest electricity system in the future, some of these changes will impact subsidies, cross-subsidies, and affordability. We've made a whole video on the changes that South Africa is undergoing. Please go have a look at it if you want more information. Cost-reflective tariffs are a big part of the change we're facing. This means more of an electricity bill will be in fixed charges, rands per day, rather than variable charges, rands per unit of electricity. Fixed charges impact low-income and high-income customers. For low-income customers, fixed charges are unaffordable. These charges must be absorbed elsewhere in the system. For high-income customers, if fixed charges are too high, they will go off the grid entirely. This means that a smaller number of paying customers are left paying the cost of the system. This impacts the financial sustainability and fairness of the system. So now that we have seen that, affordable electricity is critical for well-being and economic growth, that we support affordable electricity through subsidies and cross-subsidies, but that there are some challenges in providing subsidized electricity. It is clear that we need a fair and affordable system. To do this, we need to understand what low-income customers can afford to pay. We need to understand at what point high-income customers will leave the grid. We need transparent, subsidized tariffs that cover the unaffordable costs and reaches all poor households. We need to ensure the subsidy system doesn't cause municipalities to go into debt. And we need to ensure that we produce the cheapest electricity possible.
The Presidential Climate Commission is a multi-stakeholder body, and the work that we do within the Commission is really anchored around the Just Transition Framework, our cabinet-approved document that speaks to three principles of procedural justice, restorative, as well as redistributive justice. What that actually means is that we leave no one behind as we transition to this low-carbon economy, because there is no justice if electricity pricing reform and cost-reflective tariffs are going to impact the vulnerable or the poor in South Africa, which are a majority of the population. And so it is really important for us to understand the implications of the pricing system, particularly on the vulnerable communities. And so the PTC really has discussions around energy poverty and how energy poverty can be alleviated, especially in our vulnerable communities. So within the work that we do as the Presidential Climate Commission, we really think it is important that the policy frameworks that are developed are also addressing particularly the needs and how to support the poor through provision of sustainable electricity, but also exploring other means possibly, that could support these households.
Government is already responding through policy review. The National Department of Electricity and Energy is reviewing the electricity pricing policy with an affordability focus. And the National Treasury is looking at how municipalities subsidize all basic services for the poor, including electricity, water, and refuse removal. Yet, addressing this complex problem requires ideas and input from everyone. Policy review processes are an opportunity to make your voice heard. Want to know more? Click on the links below and be part of the conversation about South Africa's electricity future.